You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, this is Voss here from the XfinitySG.com. There you go. When the Iron Lady sings it, that means the show's official. Welcome to the big show. We certainly appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, for 15 years, we bring you 3 to 4 shows weekday. 15 to 20 a week. The CEOs, the billionaires, the Pulitzer Prize winners, the people who advise presidents, White House advisors, etc. You name it. We have the smartest people on the show, and they bring you their lifetime of experience, their knowledge, everything they've learned, the cathartic moments they've been through, the pain, the misery, the anger, misery. What am I doing? A Metallica song here? What's going on? And they bring it to you and help you because, as I always say on the Chris Voss Show, stories are the owner's manual to life. And that's what we bring to you in the Chris Voss Show. Today, we're going to be talking with an amazing young lady. She is going to be espousing to us so much different data. She is a leadership alignment master. So we're going to be talking about leadership on the show, which of course is one of my favorite topics as well. In the meantime, though, we do ask that you refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Give it 5 stars on the iTunes. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, linkedin.com/Chris Voss. Subscribe to that big LinkedIn newsletter that grows like a weed every day, and the big 130,000 group on LinkedIn. Go to chrisvossfacebook.com to see and talk with the show on Facebook, and then of course Chris Voss 1 on the TikTok. She is the CEO of XfinitySG. Rubyni Karun is on the show with us today. Did I get that right, Rubyni?
Absolutely right, Chris. Thank you.
There you go. She has helped over 250 corporate leaders and business owners find their alignment for renewed peak performance, gaining income, recognition, joy, and success in their lives. Clients who she helps are close to burnout, and those who don't know how to dial up their performance, she helps them make a turnaround time after joining her Success in Self journey to hit their promotion, revenue, and impact goals while being in alignment within themselves, which sounds good to me. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm super, Chris. I'm really delighted to be on this show with you.
We're delighted to have you as well. Give us your .coms. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
It's www.XfinitySG.com. And the easiest way to speak to me, chat with me, DM me is on LinkedIn. So www.linkedin.com/IN/Rubyni Karun.
There you go. LinkedIn, man, that really is the place over there. Yeah. I think it's the best social media platform ever. Plus, there's a lot of money over there. It's very different than the other places where it seems like just a bunch of kids and trolls.
Yes.
So, give us a 30,000 overview of what you do and how you do it in your words.
Well, what I do is really take people who are tired and frustrated and overwhelmed with why things are not going their way, or why their boss isn't seeing them for the effort they're doing, why they are not getting the promotion, why they're not getting the recognition. They come to me, they are close to giving up, and almost all of them have this burning sentence of, what is wrong with me? Right? And that's a very sad place to start from. And what I do is that I bring them to a place of understanding what are their limiting beliefs, what's blocking them, and what kind of reality we can create together by just tweaking things up a little bit in their performance and productivity. So they gain basically everything they want within 3 to 4 months.
I like what you said about having people being in alignment with themselves, or what we could refer to in the bio. How much difference does that make in being able to achieve what you said, being able to dial up their performance and find the success that they're kind of been missing?
I get really excited about this question. I jumped with joy with this question because people struggle in their performance. People struggle to get what they want. And when they come to me, what we do is that we get them back into their hearts. we get them to understand that alignment is the way that they can create that next level of performance. And each and every time clients are blown away within 3 to 4 weeks. And they're just like, why have we been doing it the hard way all along? Because we've been taught that. And so that dial-up is really about the alignment piece, allowing them to tap into this untapped potential within themselves. Works every time.
There you go. Why do you think the power of corporate leaders is important now more than ever?
Really good questions. We're going through a time of immense change. And through times of immense change, there's often mass fear, and it starts with small seeds in people, and it kind of grows. And this could be anything from fear of financing a home, or fear of not being able to live up to what a spouse wants. Simple stuff. Or fear of just not having the goals that you said you would get at 40 or 45, whatever. And corporate leaders have the biggest stretch in fingertips to touch people, to create 6 degrees of change. You talk about politicians. Yes, masses listen to them or look to them for leadership. And some people have an everyday touch point with their boss. And you watch the show Horrible Bosses. You hear horrible boss stories. You hear people curse their boss over drinks at lunch breaks. But if a boss comes from a different place to provide this type of leadership, where a person feels nurtured, where a person can grow and reach their goals, everyone rises together. And that's why I think corporate leaders wear capes. I have this hashtag on LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah? Corporate leaders wear capes. There you go. That or they should have to earn their cape, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, because I've seen some people that are, well, I mean, if you're, I guess it depends if you're a true leader or not, really.
Correct.
So there you go. So good leaders wear capes.
No, but the thing is that I think a lot of people don't realize that leaders aren't ever taught. You're a good person, but you're never taught to be a good leader. And then you're just like dealing with stuff, and then it becomes too much, and then you break, and then people call you a bad leader. So I think they're just bad leaders who are untaught.
Well, there's not much good training for leadership. It's out there. I mean, you can read books, but there's a lot of coaches like yourself that help probably break through. I'll meet people and ask people, what's your leadership style, or how do you lead? Like, I don't know. I just kind of do whatever.
There you
go. And I don't know. I don't know what my leadership style is. And how do you? And I'm like, how do you lead if you don't really understand whether you're leading or not?
I hear you, and I have this journey, a Success in Self journey. It's a digital education platform. But what we do is that we allow leaders to understand that in the middle part of our journey, where, I mean, we talk about the keywords like service leadership or connected leadership or authentic leadership. Yeah, that's fine. But truly, who do you want to be, and what do you want to create in the mold of your leadership? So it's an 8-week journey. And they're just like, I don't know. Who do I have to be successful? I'm like, don't care about that. Who do you want to be? Let's mold and stretch that.
There you go.
That's a childhood thing.
Lots of stretching. You believe in the alignment of psychology, spirituality, and emotion, and those alignments make a good leader. Talk to us about what that means, and then what if they're not into alignment or they don't believe in it? Why would I don't know why someone would not believe in being aligned, but.
So there's this Japanese sort of rock formation or structure where the base is a large rock, and then there are all these like wobbly rocks on top of it, and it's connected by an axis. To me, because I'm very scientific in my brain and I'm from consulting, that axis is alignment. Whereas a lot of people refer to alignment as sort of like a religious thing, I'm referring to alignment as just coming to decision making with an aligned viewpoint, with an aligned perspective to make razor sharp decisions to benefit you and the company and the team and your family. So that alignment comes from a place that's not stressed, not overwhelmed, right? And so this concept of alignment is in NLP, we talk about the 6th level, which is, okay, you have your identity, your beliefs, your capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you then go up into? Self-actualization according to Maslow, but also what do you surrender to? Just as a whole, God, Goddess, the universe, whatever. What do you surrender to as this is what I'm doing things for, and this is what I surrender things for, and this is how I want to create and all that. But it's knowing that if you are in an aligned place to create, it will happen.
Would you call that to your purpose, maybe? Finding your purpose in life?
Impact, legacy. That's what we explore at the end. Purpose, impact, legacy. Because the people who come to me, they have the houses, they have the cars, they have the teams. They just don't know how to dial it up. And so let's get you connected to why you're doing it. You're not doing it just to earn anymore. You're out of security. What's the next band? Why are you doing this? Who do you want to leave after you die?
Yeah. The whole purpose of why you do your life. People go through whole lives and they don't really think of these sort of things. Now, when you talk about alignment, you also mentioned healing. What is the healing first mentality that works with the alignment that you're talking about?
I love your questions, Chris. I just wanted to say that.
That's why they pay me every day in meat. That's how I get paid on the show. I get paid in meat. I don't know where that came from.
I love it. The beginning part of my success in self journey, what we do is that we uncover limiting blocks. You will be blown away when I tell you examples of 50-something-year-olds, decades on this earth, unable to speak up in a boardroom because of something that was said during childhood.
Really?
Now, when we're high Ds and when we're like high performers, we're just like, I'm going to use the word, trauma is not something I go through. People perceive, and of course, trauma is huge and painful, but the smallest bit around a parent saying, you think you're going to make it to the big leagues, puts a cap on a person's growth. That's a limiting belief that's stuck in there for decades.
Oh, yeah.
When I say healing, we tap into the multiple layers downwards of what's truly blocking you. Why can't you speak up? They say, be yourself. I don't know who I am. Because in a sandpit, you were told, don't be yourself. Don't get dirty. Don't shine. Don't do this. Don't cry. And so it links back to a lot of childhood, teenage, young adulthood kind of experiences that block people. So we heal them through that to say, let's remove these things. Let's heal you from the inside. Because otherwise, being balanced and aligned is just in the mind. We don't want that. We want the emotional, like this physiological shift when you feel aligned.
So it sounds like you got to balance out your life if you want to be an extraordinary leader and be able to inspire people. You know, you have to have your stuff together first. That's the word. Before you
inspire is the word. You can be a leader with a team and earn enough and be happy at enough. But if you want to go in best in case scenarios and dial that up and leave impact, purpose, and legacy, this is what you have to do. You have to have alignment to inspire people. Yeah. You
kind of have to work at your kinks, your traumas, your issues, you know, your hangups, because otherwise people will see right through any sort of PR or BS you want to take and put up.
Absolutely.
I've talked about this in the show multiple times, but I always had one of those pictures on the end of my desk that reminded me that I had to earn my title every day. I had to earn my leadership, my ability to earn all that stuff. It would make all the difference. And so I had to remember that because I met so many people over my years in business that they get a title that's given to them and they're like, so suddenly I'm a leader, I'm a manager now. And then they're really, really bad at it. And you're like, no, just because you got the title handed to you doesn't mean that you've earned that position or that you've earned the right to lead people. You still have to earn their trust. You have to still build relationships with them. You have to be a servant leader as opposed to, I don't know, some, you're not king. You're not king. So there you go. There you go. Tied in with that, you believe in you need to have an authentic voice in your leadership. What's the big deal behind that?
Mm. I'll give you a story, if I may, to touch upon that. I'll use a boardroom story, and I'll use an individual who's brilliant at data and leads a team of 16 people and, around data engineering for a very large company, top 10 in the world. And this person was always told, you're just good at data. You don't actually have leadership presence.
Wow.
Just manage your team.
It's kind of rude.
Yeah. High performance societies, man. But this person learned that his voice didn't have value. This person learned that his voice couldn't lead. This person learned that his voice was not at the level where he could play with the big boys, right? And so when we came together, it was almost like, what's wrong with my voice? And we got into this. I love the phrase be yourself because it's so full of BS. We were told not to be ourselves since young. People have forgotten how to be themselves.
I have like 8 personalities, so
yeah, exactly. I have 13.
Anymore. You have 13? I'll see if I can catch up. I'll develop some more.
I created a post about that, the different masks. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and what we did was that we really got into why he felt he couldn't speak, and it was just this early adulthood career moment where he was told, just do your job, not so bad, but just do what you're good at, just stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
And what we did is that we uncovered almost his voice we worked on leadership presence, we worked on having him heard, but we also worked in being confident in his capabilities with certainty to speak in his value and his truth to his team members, but also upwards influence to his bosses. Like,
being authentic really matters. How would you define being authentic?
Oh, whatever you have already been doing and whatever you have done is who you are. And so tapping into how did I react and how did I portray myself and how did I create and how did I lead and how did I inspire? That's your authentic self. There's nothing to do in order to be authentic. You are authentic. And if you don't like that authentic nature that you have, change it, stretch it, dial it up. Because sometimes when we reflect on who we are as authentic beings, there's something we don't like. We might have snapped. We might have not been our best selves. We might have not tried to perform at the highest level that we know we could have and was stuck in this like dirty dungeon of like, why can't I? Turn it up. Turn it up.
Turn it
That's
up.
all it is.
Don't be in the dirty dungeon, eh?
Don't be in the dirty dungeon by yourself. Get out and smell the fresh air.
That'll get a broom. With leaders, we've talked about how they can embrace change or start to embrace change and improve the quality of themselves first. And a lot of leaders are so intent upon worrying about what their team's doing and everybody else is doing that, your points of like, maybe you should fix yourself first before you go trying to fix everyone else are really important. So what's the timeline that leaders usually take to change their lives and their teams? Is it take years or shorter or what?
As you can see, I'm very high powered and I'm very energetic and I'm very passionate about what I do. When you talk about a person who wants to change, a person can be very flaccid and very like lukewarm and very like, yeah, I'll change when it's convenient. That person's going to take 5 years. If I encounter a person I am scared of what's going to happen in my life. I don't know how to live. I'm not getting recognized. I need to get promoted. Shit's going to go down in the world. Sorry for cursing. I want to change now. I can bring that person within 2 months, 4 months, and 6 months, completely different life. I've done it every single time. Within 3 to 4 weeks, 5 weeks, they're just like, I feel a little bit like I'm vibing differently. Within the second month, their team is telling them, something's different about you, boss. Within 4 months, their boss is telling them, how did you get this? What are you doing differently? And 6 months, they're getting regional recognition, some global. Yes.
That's awesome.
Just dial it up.
Just by, getting your stuff together, really. So why do you think your process works so well in helping leaders improve themselves?
Because I went into the dirty dungeon. I have been in such toxic, terrible environments, stuck without a voice, without recognition. And I knew I look the way I do. I speak the way I speak. I need to do something differently in order to get to a premium level. I need to be elite in order to be the elite. And I went into this rabbit hole of corporate development, coaching, mentoring, programs, everything, NLP, hypnotherapy, trauma therapy. I went through all these things by myself. And after a year and a half and 2 years, I'm just like, this is massively spread out in a way that I cannot fathom how to actually change. And when I wanted to start my business, I already knew I wanted to start my business. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. In 2016, I knew I wanted to do this. I knew how I wanted to do it. In 2020, when I started it, I created the program. It was once a 12-week program. Now I'm at like version, 6, and it's an 8-week program.
Wow.
But we honed in to not what only worked for me, but what works for this mass attraction that I've, had with clients, to exactly what helps within uncovering, understanding who you are and who you want to be and what kind of leadership you want to create, like the poster on your table, earn it, inspire. And then how do you want to leave this world with purpose, impact, and legacy? Let's not wait till we're like 68 to think about that. Let's start doing that now. Right?
Yeah. You don't want to wait and put it off. This is some really important tips. And then how long is your course? So it's 8 weeks, correct?
It's 8 weeks now. Yeah.
And then I see several different offerings you have on your website. I know you have a mastermind, different things. So give us a rundown on what you offer there.
So the mastermind is the next level of the course. So the foundation course is Success in Self. And it's a foundation course where it's 8 weeks of just uncovering, recreating, and understanding what you want to create. The mastermind is a lot longer, and it's really about tapping into how you can get to the core of your alignment. And it's about I'm not going to say small words to make it sound easy, because people know it's difficult to stay consistent. But what I do in the mastermind is guarantee people this accountability to really get into the depths of joy and happiness. I have someone who's 52. She's a D&I leader globally, a VP of diversity and inclusion. And I said, when's the last time you felt joy in your natural state? She thought, and that's a powerful question. When is the last time you felt joy in your natural state? She thought for a while. She starts crying, and she says 18.
Wow. There you go.
Because then she had to go to the university. She got married. She had kids. She was trying and struggling at her career. She's uber successful now, but she hasn't felt true, deep joy. Wow. And that's what we do in the mastermind. It's nothing to be negated. Oh, it's just being happy. Be happy, dude. No, be happy.
So these are the things you put them through. How long does the mastermind run again?
6 months.
6 months. There you go. So you've got the two different programs. You've got I had it here pulled up. It was the
Success in Self Foundation, and then the Leadership Mastery, which is really getting into the depths of yourself.
There you go. And probably developing you as a leader as well.
And someone you're proud of. That's another question. Are you proud of yourself? People, yeah. Are you?
I mean, if you've got to feel good about yourself, you've got to be connected to yourself. You've got to be, like you say, your authentic self. If you can't show up that way, you're just like a broken leader. I mean, if you're a leader at all, really.
Yes. And you said the word connected. In a part of what we do is help the leader to create high performance teams so that they can step away and unplug from the stress of work to focus on themselves, because there's no such thing as alignment and focusing on yourself if work is not going well and your team is suffering. So we also help them build high performance teams through connected leadership, nurturing collaboration, communication, and trust, setting goals through a strength-based matrix so that they can step away they can focus on themselves. Then 2 and 2 work. 1 and 1 doesn't work by itself. Yeah. So you said connected and inspired, and I just launched into this because that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about some other things. You talk about how there are certain people that are doing this quiet quitters thing, and you help team members who are quiet quitters become high performance warriors. Tell us what that's about, because that became real popular. That quiet quitting was kind of trending there for a while.
So you remember a stage in life decades ago where we're working in a team, but all of a sudden we don't feel like we're moving. We don't feel connected to the boss. We don't really like the boss. We're not hearing directions. The person slowly starts shutting down. That's a quiet quitter. I need to stay here to earn money to pay my bills. Nothing else. So I'm just doing the bare minimum with intention.
Just phoning
the bare minimum. That's not good for a high performance team, is it?
No.
But when we work on the leader and we get the leader excited about how they can create with joy, alignment, purpose, and impact, then they're fired up. They're like, I'm not dealing with quiet quitters. Let's get down and dirty to where this person is and help this person. And that's where our strength-based matrix comes in, because we get the team members to plug that in. We're like, I'm happy to share them. Like, plug it in. In consulting, we do all these internal consultant work to higher power a team for performance and revenue gain. So we get them to plug it in, and then the leader works with them collaboratively to say, how can I be a better leader to support your goal? That's powerful.
Definitely powerful.
Powerful. Right?
You know, one of the things you talked about is, I just saw your post on LinkedIn. Have you met your best self yet? I really like that question.
I love my questions. I'm just saying.
I like that because you kind of think from a paradigm like, wait, do I have a best self? And have I met them yet? That's a really important question that kind of opens your mind to some thoughts.
Yeah. And no, it's no fault of anyone, because think about life, right? We've got all these rungs in the ladder where it's natural to just put your foot up and put your foot up and put your foot up. And it's childhood, and then it's teenagehood. It's always surviving. And you do all of that and you reach a point and you're just like, man. Right? And then it's like, when we work together, we bring them into understanding that life, you're supposed to thrive. Let's not survive. And let's thrive as who you want to be. Let's create that. But no one's actually talking about, who do you want your best self to be? And that's what I mentioned earlier when we create an ideal leadership blueprint. Who do you want to be? It's not out of reach. It's neuroplasticity. You set an intention, you keep practicing consistent action, you feel it, you emote it, you create it. It will happen. It's vibrating at that. Yeah.
There you go. Get into alignment and stuff. Let's see. How do you talk about leaders with health issues, and they tend to ignore them, don't face up to it, and that's important in helping them achieve their alignment and healing.
I'm smiling, but it's not funny. But remember how I said dirty dungeon?
Yeah.
Those are the things that happen in the dirty dungeon. People are waking up at 3 a.m. just being like, what's happening for tomorrow's meeting?
Panicking.
People are not sleeping. And people are operating at adrenal gland overdrive, cortisol spikes that are causing inflammation in their body and causing diseases that they find out about in like 5 to 8 years. They're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that then. Too late. What about now? What about we find out what your symptoms are now? Sleep patterns. If you're waking up in the middle of the night, talk to me. If you are not able to sleep, if you're not engaged with your family members and you feel like, I just want to escape, I don't want to talk to my spouse nor my kids, let me lock myself in the room and pretend I have a meeting. All these things are the beginning points of adrenal gland overdrive, stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. So let's not wait till we're almost burned out at level 10. Let's do this at level 3, 4, 5, because there is help. Life doesn't have to be that hard. So that's what I refer to when I talk about health issues, because sometimes people come with health issues already. Sometimes people on the phone, they're just like, yeah, I'm not sleeping well. Yeah, I do have gastric. Or my doctor said it was IBS. Or, I have neck pain and spinal pain, and like my chest is tight. Parts.
Issues within the mind tend to develop into the body and reflect into the body. I think that's a real big difference. So how can leaders combat those that are employees that might be quiet quitting on them? What's the key to maybe you think leadership can do better at turning these quiet quitters around?
So there's two parts to that. The first way is a simple way of asking them, is there something happening at home or in your life that you'd like to talk about that I can help you with?
So it's the same thing as, what we've talked about with leaders, being their authentic self, being in alignment, having their life balance in place, their mind balance in place. It's the same thing for those employees and trying to help them not achieve it.
And this question can be done without all of that. If a person says, alignment, balance in life, I just want to make my team perform better, that's the question to ask. What's happening in life? What's happening there? The second part of the answer is work on yourself first to understand how you might have created that. How did you, in your misaligned state, in your push and struggle and drive, maybe create a quiet quitter? And by looking at yourself first and healing yourself first and getting into alignment and high performance with yourself first, then we go to the team member. But normally when a person works on themselves first, the team member sees it and slowly drives up.
There you go. So it sets a good example.
Say again?
So it sets a good example to the team if you're operating at your optimum. And if you're using that and inspiring them as well to have them operate at their optimum, they're going to be more complete and happy within themselves.
To do more.
There you go.
And then you can unplug and do more things for yourself that make you a whole person. A lot of people in leadership are stuck in the tactical because they're pushing and struggling and driving their team. But if they create space with a high performance team, then they can focus on the strategic. They can be more excited about their roles. They can create more. They can get seen by upper management more for what they're trying to do instead of being like,
There you go. I love the sound effect. It's an employee market right now. Leaders are finding. What can leaders do better to retain good talent?
Be better.
Be better. There you go. It comes back. It's in the mirror. It's on us. Damn it.
Comes back to why I attract people, because I set the intention that when people are struggling in their roles and they don't know what to do in creating a better team or creating better for themselves to hit their own goals, recognition, promotion, income, a better family, holidays, whatever, I set the intention I want them to come to me. And even if it's one conversation to show them what are your blocks and what's creating this, I'm happy. At least they can take it and run. And if they want to work with me, then that's fine too, right? But it's understanding that you are the key creator of your reality and what you bring into yourself. So work on yourself first.
There you go. Work on yourself first. Servant leadership means you serve other people. And unless you're being your best self and doing the best you possibly can, it's hard to ask other people to do that as well. And everything else. So give us a final pitch out. Tell us about what Pete, you have to offer on your website, what you have to offer with your services you do to people, and get us up to speed on everything that you have on your plate there that people can take advantage of.
Sure, happy to. I get really passionate about success in self because it's an 8-week journey, and we're bringing people in who have given up on how to do things better, or who want to do things better when it's not manic and hectic yet, right? So I know my promotion is next year in April. I know I'm not there yet. How can I flip the switch now? That's another conversation. So whenever they come in, immediately we put them through this 8-week journey. to recreate themselves or uncover limiting beliefs and tune up the authenticity bit to be the leader that they want to be, to create a high performance team, and to leave purpose, impact, and legacy. So we tune that up in 8 weeks. If they want to continue working with us, it's the same flow of going into the mastermind to get into themselves, to be better within themselves, to have joy and happiness at the deepest part of themselves and their souls, alignment, So that's what we do with the leaders in the Success in Self Foundation and Mastermind. That's the core revenue piece of what I do. On a different angle, I do some work around trauma therapy and healing. Sometimes leaders, group CEOs, I don't want you to go through the program. I just want pure play coaching. We do that too, but it's to a lesser event, because when I spot something that's wrong, I say, you need success in self first, and then we can do the coaching after. Okay? So typically the foundation is what people go through. I recently have started speaking more because I want so many people to understand that life doesn't have to be hard. And it's just these small tweaks that they can do in order to propel into this amazing, joyful presence life with the recognition and reward that they want. So I've started speaking on small stages, but I'm sort of intending the big stages soon in 2024. So let's see where I'll be.
There you go. On the stages doing the speaking. So give us your .coms as we go out so people can find you on the interwebs and get to know you better.
The best place to connect with me and speak to me is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, you just search Rubyni Karun and you can book a call with me. You can visit my website, which is www.XfinitySG.com. And there you can read about the beautiful testimonials that we have of people who thought it wouldn't work and did work, and they've gotten the 200% salary increases within 18 months. So they've gone from a head of consumer banking to a managing director within 1 year.
Wow.
Head of consumer banking to managing director, 1 year. I've got beautiful stories of success that stem from an alignment place, an axis that is centered and driven by the heart. So I'd love for you to talk to me, chat with me. Even if you think it's BS, talk to me. I love to speak to people around how I can help them. So connect.
There you go. They can reach out to you on your website. Thank you very much for coming on the show. This has been enlightening, inspiring, and motivating, and reminding people on how to build and be better leaders.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Chris. I've really appreciated it. Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks, your audience, for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Subscribe to the big LinkedIn newsletter, the LinkedIn group of 130,000 people over there. Go to Chris Voss, Facebook.com, Chris Voss 1 on TikTok, and Chris Voss on YouTube.com. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time.